What's going on, guys? I appreciate those of you that were hanging out waiting for the live stream to start. For those of you watching the replay, though, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. So when we do these streams, you can take part in the chat right along with us. So I was kind of torn. Part of me wanted to wear what the video is based around, this live stream is based around, but I like to do my sin of the day post before the live streams. So I'm going to hold off because this was originally what I was planning on wearing today. What I actually ended up wearing, which is, might as well get to it, Birth of Venus from Argos, one of their new releases, which is basically their freshie. That's how you can look at it. I'm loving this. This is my second full wearing. This is an absolutely stunning, fruity, lightly floral fragrance with a little bit of chocolate and some woods. It's got that Mysore sandalwood that's kind of becoming a signature in the base of the Argos fragrances. 4 sprays around the neck. Doesn't really lean all that feminine, guys. Don't be weary of it. If you like unisex fragrances, it's perfectly unisex. You know, there's some florals to it, and like the chocolate, I really don't even get all that much chocolate. The sweetness can be attributed to that, but there's raspberry, there's peach, there's other things making the light sweetness, but it's very, very fresh and very vibrant. This is a beautiful fragrance. So I was originally planning on wearing that, and then when this finally came in, I've been waiting a few days for it, which we'll get to about the 10-minute mark. Give everybody an opportunity to get here that cares to hear about it, because obviously not the entire stream is going to be about one fragrance, because we'll do an hour to hour plus, whatever ends up being. So we'll get to it at about the 10-minute mark. We'll jump in, so I'll just catch up with you guys, see what everybody's wearing down in the chat before we get going. Doubt off the game. Hat of the day. I love that he's doing the hat of the day. So I'm not doing anything crazy special. I mean, this is Alvin's Island souvenir shop kind of stuff right here with Panama City shirt, hat. A Vans Disney collab, navy blue flat bill snapback. Just got my Essentia L'Homme Le Parfum in about an hour ago. It'll be my sin of the day tomorrow. For those of you that don't know, that is Fragrance World's Le Male Le Parfum clone. It is fantastic. Have an impact on my kids too. They love watching the rack store videos when you go to TJ Maxx, and others, they point at what's good and what's not. You sparked a new generation of frag heads. Well, that's good to know. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing, Adam. Lego. That's what I'm talking about. And he went ahead and joined. Hell yeah. I got the elite level. Welcome to the membership. I'm sure, as per usual, when we have a new member sign up, you will see, which I think you were a member prior. This might be a renewal. Or is this a new membership for you? So I'm going to say I've seen you in here before, Anthony, as far as I've seen you in the chat a ton of times. I mean, as far as in the membership, but I'm sure we'll see all the custom emojis in the chat here in just a minute. They usually go to town using them whenever we have a new member or a renewal. So let's see, wearing Wanted by Night. If you would like it, because we seem to have similar taste. And you were right, I love it. Yeah, Wanted by Night. The whole line's good. Even Tonic. I wore Tonic last week at out the shower. They're all good. There's not a bad fragrance among them. Some are better than others, but all of the whole Wanted line, I think, is good. Local gangster is in on the news where I'm from in Sweden. Police raided his apartment. They took pics of his fragrance collection. Man has bodacious, Victoria's, Fragrance Du Bois, and Zaharoff. Well, at least he has good taste in fragrances, right? Maybe not the smartest person when it comes to being, with criminal activity. I don't know what that means. Wearing Y Live today. You smell great. Hey, what's going on, Josh? How are you? Hope today is treating you good, Ross. End of the day, Dylan Blue. Hell yeah, that was featured in today's video. And as per usual, I totally expected, because Hawass and 9 p.m. were featured. Had to hear about reformulations in the comment section. Fully expect that anytime I talk about any fragrance that's typically really strong and affordable, you're going to hear about, I had one comment talking about my friends confirmed it and all of this. That's great, man. That's great. It's a beast for me and most people. I'm sorry it's not for you. I'm not going to argue with people. It is what it is for you. Okay. Moving on. Thank you for watching. That's, man, boy, this reformulation talk with these affordable Middle Eastern fragrances, it's a thing. It is a thing. I can guarantee all of you, everyone watching, anyone that'll see this in the replay, you get more than 30 minutes. Because I got some of the 30-minute comments today too. I can't smell Dylan Blue, actually. I can't smell it after 30 minutes. My reply to him was, you get more than 30 minutes. And then everybody else started commenting. I'm like, no, you're getting more than 30 minutes. Just, how did they say it? Stop the cap. There you go. Yeah, you're getting more than 30 minutes. Very few fragrances on this planet will only last 30 minutes. They're out there, but Versace Dylan Blue is not one of them. Okay. Joel, good to see you, my man. Hell yeah. I saw you send a day post. So with you, it happens all the time. If it's around the time you post your scent of the day, it'll be the first thing in my feed when I open Instagram, and then it immediately loads and shoots down right when I go to tap it. So I see your post, but I don't always get to like it because it scrolls down God knows how far immediately, because I don't really go that far into Instagram when I open it. I'm usually in there checking notifications and stuff. And I'll usually scroll in the first, like 10 posts on the feed to see what's shaking and check stories and stuff like that. But I did see it. Howdy, howdy. Hit that like button, y'all. Wearing Vanilla Oud. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That you smell incredible. Rocking red tobacco today. Power. Indeed. Power indeed. I've heard intense red tobacco is pretty potent. And it's basically the same fragrance. That's the little bit I've heard so far. I heard a little bit of Kareem's rant about it on Instagram. I didn't really watch the whole thing because I don't really want to be influenced, because I know I'm going to get my nose on it. And I don't want to have in my mind, well, it's kind of like this, and this is supposed to be a little different. So I try to avoid hearing that kind of stuff. Well, all right then. Y'all go ahead with your bad selves. I don't understand a single word. How are you? Spicebomb, the original. That is a goated fragrance, in my opinion. Coach for Men. Hadn't worn it in a while. Just opened a new bottle. It's underappreciated. It's underappreciated when it comes to mass appealing fragrances, So today's Addicted by Aaron Terrence Hughes. Love your videos. Can you review Candies for Men, the blue and green bottle? I'd love to get that just for the bottle alone. I love the way the bottle looks. I can't promise anything, though. Scent of the day, 1 Million Lucky. One of the better ones in the line. Lydia, good to see you. Scent of the day is Vanilla Oud. Got my decant yesterday. This one reminds me of like Awajan meets Alexandria's Apple Crumb plus Mercedes-Benz Club Black. That's kind of fair. I would say it's got more spices than something like Awajan and Club Black. But I get what you're coming. I totally get the relation. I totally get where you're coming from with all of that, because I could smell all of that in there. That makes sense. I'm not super familiar with Apple Crumb, but Awajan I'm familiar with, and I'm super familiar with Club Black. So I totally get it. Good stuff. I hope you're enjoying it. Vertex. So I saw your I think that was yesterday you wore that, right? Because I saw your post on that one too. Cocktail Intense. Azaro the Most Wanted, my favorite in the line. 1 Million Royal. I'm going to be wearing that one a good bit this fall, because it's one of the fresher ones. It's actually fresher than the Parfum. And the Parfum's got that summer vibe to it, So yeah, I get like the benzoin adds a bit of vibrance and aromatic tone to it, a little bit of an aromatic accord with some citruses and stuff like that. I mean, it's still sweet. It's still 1 million, but I think it's a slightly fresher woodsy type of 1 million for those that don't like the super sweet stuff. Like if 1 million's been a turnoff for you, Royal might be worth checking out. It's not the best in the line, but it does neuter some of that 1 million sweetness compared to the others. Hell yeah, rocking Naxos. And I haven't tried Fall of Phaeton because I know I'm going to get it at some point. So I'm going to save that. I'm not going to spray that sample because it's going to go into the mystery box for the member giveaway on Saturday. The member spins. Aaron Terrence Hughes, Ohm. Fantastic Irish fragrance. Not sure if you've gotten your nose on it. I have not. Juana Ochoa. Been in the mood for Polo Blue lately. Wearing Gold Blend. Wouldn't be mad at Polo Blue Elixir. Well, I mean, that's probably where they go next, right? They've got all the other flankers aside from like a Polo Blue Eau Fraiche. But I mean, Ultra Blue, you could consider that to be the Eau Fraiche flanker. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Polo Blue Elixir next. I mean, they already had a Deep Blue Parfum and a Parfum. Been having an EDP for years. So I wouldn't be surprised. Gold Blend could be considered the special blend. So that's kind of the only place to go with it, besides like Polo Blue Noir or something like that, So we're at the 10-minute mark. We'll go ahead and get into this. Let me find a good stopping point real quick, and we'll go right on into it. Holy hell, it's long lasting. Still smell it on the hoodie. I sprayed. Oh man, this badass Cryptic Figure wearing one most signature. Go Niners. Camaro Ohm Intense. That's a good one. It's definitely a good one. Cremo Isotron and Driftwood. Let me get through real quick. DJ Sense, good to see you. How would I compare it? Compare it to what? because it doesn't smell like anything. It's really become my signature scent. I wouldn't compare it to anything. I'm just going based off of how you worded the question. But yeah, it's phenomenal. It's my second favorite from the house. Now, do you mean compare it to this? Because they don't smell at all alike. Not even with the raspberry note tying in the rose. They don't smell alike. I don't mind. I mean, the slightest of similarities, because there are some similar oils there. I mean, it's the same house, same perfumer, but I wouldn't really relate it. Argos does have kind of a signature to it, and it's becoming the rose and sandalwood with a few of them, mainly that Mysore sandalwood. But yeah, I wouldn't compare it to anything specifically. Adonis Awaken is phenomenal. It's definitely stands tall among many, many fragrances. Well, it's not finding it. So let me give you the story, because we're going to go ahead and get into it. So somebody reached out to me the other day and was like, hey, I know you've been saying you wanted to get this and prices are crazy. I'll sell you my bottle. And I want to say it might have had a couple sprays missing. Might not have been sprayed at all. And he told me like, oh no, he found it at some fragrance store. They had 2 bottles. It was like $130 after tax. He bought one and he's like, hey, if you want the other one, you want to PayPal me the money, I'll go get it. And I thought about it and I was like, I appreciate you thinking about me. Actually, $130 is a good price. And I thought to myself, just in case, let me go see if I can find a 90 ml for a little cheaper. And when I say 90 ml, that may let some of you know what fragrance this is, because I do talk about how I waited too long and procrastinated. Now it's a little out of reach. Most of the time when I look on eBay, they seem pretty out of reach on what I'm not willing to pay. So fortunately for me, I don't want to, stretch or exaggerate what I paid. So let me look on eBay. And I thanked him once again. Absolutely. Thank you so much for thinking of me, but I ended up finding on eBay a little bit cheaper. But thank you for putting it in my head that I should go check, because I found a great deal. So for $89.99 plus $11.80 shipping, which is the cheapest, $108.92 after tax and shipping. $108.92 after tax and shipping. I finally got my bottle of Spicebomb Fresh. Yes, this is a Grail pickup to me. And it goes right in line with half of my other ones because it's a tester. There's the tester tag. I haven't sprayed it yet. It was very well packaged. The seller even had like stuff in the box to hold it steady. But yeah, here it is, guys. I've been procrastinating getting it, and it was starting to seem like it was going to be out of reach for me because I was not willing to pay. I've been seeing $200 range. Even like the cheapest I've been seeing it most of the times, like $150 to $170. And I was kind of iffy about that. But a lot of what I saw was even higher than that. I guess you just got to be right place, right time. You say demonstration tester, which I have a tester of the original is a tester, the extreme is a tester, and all my other ones were full presentation, non-testers. Actually, I think my Night Vision Eau de Toilette might be a tester. I don't remember exactly, but so the tease was I did have a few sprays when I talked about it on live stream yesterday. This is the official 20 ml travel size, and you can see there's a dent in there. There was a stretch when I was wearing it pretty often, but it got to the point to where it was like I kind of want to hoard the sprays until I get a bottle, because I'm going to finish this before I bother with this, because now I'm going to go to spraying this. But for the sake of the video and what we're talking about, plus we have to make sure it's legit, which batch code checked out and everything. I checked the batch code and all that before I bought it. It's legit. And, aside from the shipping and tax, because that just happens when you buy stuff online, $90. That's the cheap. Oh God, it smells so good. This is the cheapest I think I've ever seen this. Like even when it was pretty easy to get, $89.99 is the cheapest I've seen this bottle. And when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, that's a sign. I need to buy this now. I need to buy this right now. Now is the time. This is a sign. Here's my chance. Pink pepper, grapefruit, sea salt. I love it. I love it. I love it. So some of you have heard me say, I think this is the best one they ever made. So the reason I say other ones are my favorites, because the other ones you can actually buy. They're on the market, which, I mean, I'm not saying you can't get out and buy this. I got lucky and found it for what I thought was a steal of a price, all considering, because at one time this was an exclusive to, I forgot which department store, and it used to be called Spicebomb Fresh. Then they rebranded it as Spicebomb Fresh and released it, to all the retailers or majority of the retailers. It still has that tobacco note. Let's pull up the notes here. I have a split screen set up. Still has the tobacco, but like this note here, this fleur de sel, I believe that's just another way of saying sea salt, basically, because it is sea salt. But the pimento is your main spice with the pink pepper because it's not fiery hot spice. You'll hear people in the past talk about, and not necessarily content creators, just people on the internet saying it's watered down spice bomb. Not really. It's reworked with fresher oils. The overall composition is a fresher fragrance, but it still has enough density to where you can wear this all year long. You can wear this in the winter. It's just the most summer friendly of all the spice bombs, which blows my mind that this one's not still on the market. You would think there would have been a pretty good market for this. I mean, obviously it did not sell well. Otherwise they would not have discontinued it. But I love it. And yeah, it smells very much like the original. It's not as red hot spiced and it's not as dense. And it's also not as sweet. The tobacco note's about what and what. It provides this light earthy tone to kind of ground the scent, but it still has all the attractiveness. And I've always gotten around 7 or 8 hours of longevity out of the 20 ml. And I'm pretty sure I'll get about the same out of this. I doubt they're the same batch code. They are not the same batch code. Yeah, they're not the same batch code. This bottle is actually an older bottle than this. It's a lower number. Because I want to say this was newer because I got this in like 2018, 2019. I got this in 2019. And I want to say when I checked the batch code, this was 2017, this bottle, 2017 or 2018. I forgot. I checked it a week ago. I have to double check, but it's great. I'm so friggin' happy to have a bottle of this fragrance. So spicy, sweet, fresh, synthetic, and citrus. Pretty highly rated. I agree with all of it. I would rate it a little higher myself. I think it's an 8.59 because it's my favorite. There's a bias here. It's my favorite version of Spicebomb. And anybody that hasn't tried it, you won't be able to understand why it's my favorite version. If you live in a warmer climate, this is the Spicebomb for you. This is the one. That's not just fodder in the title that it's a Grail discontinued pickup for me. It's an all-time great fragrance, in my opinion. You guys that watch on a regular basis, you know how high of regard I put the Spicebomb line. It's one of my favorite DNAs ever. I love spicy fragrances. This is the ultimate spicy DNA, in my opinion, the Spicebomb line. Every time they drop a fragrance, I buy it at retail from Viktor and Rolf. I don't even go to a retailer. I buy it directly from them every time. They never fail me. I always like it. Even Night Vision EDT, I think, is a great fragrance that gets heat it doesn't deserve. I think it's a great fragrance. And I'll die on this hill with this one. I don't care because it's an opinion and it's my opinion. And I think Spicebomb Fresh is the best Spicebomb they ever put out. And that's why I think we're due for a Spicebomb Blue, a blue of some kind, even if they don't call it Spicebomb Blue. I really believe our next 3 Spicebombs, no matter how long that takes, is an elixir, a parfum, and a blue fragrance of some sort. And I will own all 3 at full retail within 24 hours to 48, within 24 to 48 hours of them releasing it in the US website from Viktor and Rolf. So here we go. I am so freaking happy to have this and to have gotten it for so much less than I thought I was going to have to pay to get it. With that said, what is a Grail pickup for you? For those of you that are just really into this, I'm not just talking to the people with 10 or 15 bottles that are watching, but by all means, you weigh in too, because maybe you don't want to have more than that. You really love fragrance. You're really passionate about it, but you damn sure don't want to have a ton, you don't want all that kind of stuff going on. That's overkill. You don't want that. You don't want that going on. I get it. But what's that, not necessarily one, what's maybe 2 or 3 is like, not necessarily lifers, but it's like, once you smelled them, you were like, holy shit, this is a me kind of fragrance. Like, this is the kind of thing that could be a signature for me. If I was to do away with everything and just have 1 or 2, maybe 3 fragrances, this is something I could rock with every day. That's how I feel about this. So what's a fragrance like that for you guys? Let's talk about it. Let's expand on this topic. Peeps wearing oud wood. Hell yeah. No sin of the day yet. That's okay. It happens sometimes. Armani Mania. Never tried it. I wish I'd love to try it, though. I've heard good things. Legend EDPs. My favorite. Randy's in the house wearing Wanted by Night today. Kalan Dry Down. Something special, in my opinion. I agree completely because that is my favorite Parfums de Marley fragrance. Porto Neroli from Maison Alhambra for Hidden Gems. Good to see you. That I could believe it. That is a very highly complimented fragrance. I know Randy's a big fan of that one. Hidden Gems. Starting to get cooler, bringing out all my fall and winter fragrances I got since the start of the year. Yeah, I got a ton of. So that's the thing. When spring rolls around, they tend to release a lot of the cooler weather stuff. When it comes to the designers, they do that. They're bad about that. They're notorious about that. Wearing Milestone. I've never tried that. Let me get caught up because I know I got behind with my rant, but I wanted to tell you guys that's, this is something that could be a signature for me. That's what makes it a grail. Like if I had to cut back drastically from what I have, something devastating had to happen tomorrow, this was one that I desired. Everybody's got that grail pickup in every aspect of things they're into. There's that one particular hat that I wish I would have gotten, but now it's ridiculous. Or that pair of shoes, which for me was the original Obsidian Jordan 12s, which I had. I had them for years and sold them off eventually, but I kept them on ice. There's always that grail pickup of some kind. Card collectors, coin collectors, you have that grail pickup. This is one of those for me. I want to know what you guys think. What's one for you? It's the most wonderful time of year frag-wise. I agree. Happy Land Barbershop. Good to see you, fragrance apologist. Reporting on duty, Captain. Sin of the day's ombre leather. You smell incredible, sir. Rockin' Jet Black Platinum. Bought that Virtus Vanilla Oud finally. I hope you're enjoying it. That seems to be a lot of people getting their hands on it right now. Good to see you, Spencer. Sprayed the bottle of Hawaii. Somebody couldn't smell anything after 20 minutes. Hit up the Raising Cane's later, and the manager sprayed me down with a power washer. Guessing it's because of the refill. He's trying to be funny, guys. Leaves are starting to fall. Leighton o'clock. I like that. I like that. It's Leighton o'clock. Sin of the day, Diorum 2020. Anything, anytime sent. Indeed. D. Da Vinci the Poet, good to see you. Also picked up Vanilla Oud from Fragrance Buy, and it's still available. Yeah, they still have a stock, apparently. History's the Parfum, $18.99. Dan, not the man, the best name on YouTube, wearing Cedrat Boissé. Good to see you. Dunhill Icon. Trying to get caught up. I'm pretty far behind. I might skip ahead because I want to get into some of these answers for my question. I want to see what you guys think about this. I want to see some of these, Grail pickups for you guys. Zaharoff Chrome Extreme. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. We're in Legend Spirit. So, yeah, I apologize, guys, but I want to skip ahead. Spicebomb Fresh. You damn right. You damn right. And they signed someone who has a chance of pushing Zach for the. Oh, you're talking the Jets. Okay. Spicebomb Fresh. Okay, this must have been when the reveal. Cherish every spray of my bottle. I'm so happy to have it now. I mean, it's not like I didn't have some. I still have like 15 ml in here. 5 or 6 ml is missing. Somewhere around that. God, so good. This is so good. I'll argue with anybody because it's my opinion. Just anybody that would say otherwise, it's their opinion. Neither of us are wrong. Greetings, Masters of Aroma. Sin of the day is Legend Spirit. Another one wearing Legend Spirit. Good to see you. The OG is my favorite, which you're wearing today, but I really want this one. Because some people say, oh, just spray. I've heard this before too. Just spray the OG a little bit less. It's still not the exact same fragrance. This is a fresher composition overall. The grapefruit's intent, you get a lot of grapefruit. The pink pepper is the dominant peppery note with a little bit of pimento supporting it. So it's not fiery hot. It's still spicy. It's just not, red hot. And then that sea salt really steps in to brighten it up too. And it's not super salty, but it is noticeable. It's like a salted grapefruit. Putting a little salt on some pink grapefruit, basically. So yes, it smells like the original, but it doesn't smell exactly the same. It's not the same aroma. It's similar. It's very similar. It smells like it's a flanker of Spicebomb, like it's supposed to. Because they're good about tying to the DNA. And this one's a glaringly obvious example. This and the Extreme are as close to the DNA as any of them, This is so good. God, I'm so glad to finally get a bottle. I can't believe I got it for $90. I paid $1 an ml for a fragrance that's been discontinued for 4 years. from a popular design house. So I'm surprised. I can't believe it. I should be wearing my Spicebomb Fresh in these early Oklahoma fall days. I saw a while ago Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Fresh on Amazon, but didn't buy it because I thought it might have been a fake. So, I mean, there's a real possibility. It depends on the price. It depends on the seller, too. I'm just curious on Amazon what it's going for. If I can even see a listing, which I don't. Yeah, I don't even see a listing on Amazon. Yeah, so it must have been, it might not be there anymore because there's no listing on Amazon now. The original, like everybody says, the original is the closest to it, but it's a much denser, warmer fragrance than the Fresh. Like, look, this isn't a must-have. If you have the original, you're good. Just spray less, like they say, right? But to get the full experience, you need the Fresh Flanker because it is. And look, like I said earlier, to me, it's the best one they ever made. I really think it's the best spice bomb they've ever made. I don't think they'll make one that I like more. But that's why I've always said, you know, like the newest infrared eau de parfum being my favorite of what's available. This is the actual king of the spice bomb mountain for me, which I've been consistent with for like 4 or 5 years since I got this. Because this was a blind buy. I came across it at Nordstrom Rack and it was like, I want to say $30 for the 20 ml. I was like, sure, why the hell not? Fell in love. Should have got a bottle back then, but I don't even think I saw it for $90 back then. I think it was right around 100. I'm not saying this is the cheapest you've ever been able to find it. It's just the cheapest I've remember seeing in a long time. I'm sure around the time I got this, I definitely could have got this for the same price I got it now, but it's been a long time since I've seen it at that price. Interlude Black Iris. I have. It is basically Grand Soir. It's very similar. Yeah, I have a decant. It's very similar. Eros EDT. The two me fragrances that hit at first sniff was, and we'll have a follow-up comment momentarily, I'm sure, Dirty English for $20. That's a good one. I haven't tried the Frozen Cologne. Love the bottle, though. That's a discontinued one I'd love to find. No, I haven't tried it. There's a lot of those La Nuit de L'Homme flankers I'd love to get my hands on. That's one of them. The Gingembre one, whatever I forgot what the hell's it called. Now I got to look. The ginger one. It's the ginger one that I'm thinking of. I just can't remember the name exactly. So there's Frozen Cologne. Where's it at? Does it really not have all of them here? I guess I got to go to the shithole. Let me just go to the YSL section and see. Scroll down to the La Nuit de L'Homme section. You forget how many fragrances YSL has in their library until you go scrolling. Look at all the L'Homme flankers. Here we go, La Nuit de L'Homme. Where's it at? There's Frozen Cologne. Am I tripping? It must have been a L'Homme flanker then. Where's it at? I know I'm not crazy. There's L'Homme Libre. Eau de Parfum, Le Parfum, Cologne Tonic, Parfum Intense, Sport Ultime, Cologne Bleu, Cologne Gingembre. So it is a L'Homme flanker, not a La Nuit de L'Homme flanker. That one. This one. Because it's so fresh. Look at those accords. Doesn't those accords alone look good? And based around ginger, it's a fresh ginger. Oh, God, that sounds so good. Pretty highly rated on here, too. That's surprising. But here we go. Watery notes, bergamot, ginger, violet leaf, white pepper, basil, musk, vetiver, cedar, oak moss. Yeah, I'm sure it's not the greatest performer, but, you know, basically a fresher, more ginger dominant, slightly aquatic L'Homme. Doesn't that sound good? The watery notes and violet leaf, I bet it's nice and watery. Man, I'm telling you, that'd be one I'd like to come across, but God knows what the prices are. Here we go. Another one, wearing Legend Spirit. That's the theme today. When you guys want to do a theme, let me know, and I'll do it with you guys, because that seems to be a thing. You're either the third or fourth person so far in the chat that's wearing Legend Spirit today. I could wear Percival every day. That's fair. That's one that would work every single day. City Rhythm Miami is a great fragrance. Elysium Parfum Cologne all time for me. You won't hear me argue against any of your picks, guys. It's your picks. That's a great fragrance. That is a great fragrance. Ooh, Mosaics for $20 as well. That is a great $20 option. I haven't wore that one in quite a while. Sicily, excellent, excellent choice. I pulled the cap and sniffed that one yesterday. Le Male Le Parfum, you, sir, smell incredible. A newer one, but Blue Electrique definitely did it for me. There's a lot of hype and a lot of love behind that fragrance, so I can understand. The Ventus Cologne and Dior Homme Intense. I mean, hey, especially Ventus Cologne. I think that is far superior. Not just superior, but far superior to Ventus, in my humble opinion. And Dior Homme Intense. I mean, come on. If you like Iris, it's great. Male Parfum is a scent for life for me. No doubt or debate. You're not going to hear a doubt or debate from me because I love it too. It's incredible. Wear Prada L'Homme every day. Speaking of, we're talking some Iris fragrances right now. I love it. Holy Grail for me, Prada L'Homme Intense. So good and with strength. So Big Ross, he will never be without Sauvage Elixir. Hell yeah. You convinced me and I pulled the trigger on the rest of the Brioni line. I'm sure I won't be disappointed. Yes, since you seem to like the original, the base DNA so much, I pulled the cap on that one and sniffed it last night too. That and the Intense. You're going to like them. I'll give you a heads up. The Intense, it is a pretty intense opening. It's a little rough around the edges, but if you just give it 2 minutes, and it gets beautiful. Very woodsy, a little animalistic, but man, it's probably the most, the most aggressive. I mean, that'd be appropriate with it being named Intense, right? But the most aggressive of the four that's on the market right now. The other two, Eclat and Essential, very easygoing fragrances. The Intense is appropriately named. It's the most intense aroma of the four. I'm confident, based on how much you wear the EDP, that you'll like the other four because you're just a fan of the DNA. You know, maybe it's just the original for you, but I'm confident. You've been around here enough, and I've seen enough of your scent of the days that I feel confident about that. City Rhythm St. John, signature summer scent for me. St. John, U.S. Virgin Island water. U.S. Virgin Islands is indeed phenomenal. Gotta love that guava. Beautiful guava note. Grail fragrance for me that I will always own is Happy from Men by Clinique. Clinique Happy, that is an all-time great. Smelling it literally makes me smile. Iris fave. Whoever loves Iris, which I do, I've never tried it. There's a masterpiece with one of the ones with the gold flakes. I've seen the bottles. The bottles look really cool. I love the bottles. Dirty English and Oud Mosaic were so hard to find. When I found them, I was hyped. And that's the best part is when you find them and you didn't have to spend a lot. Talk about putting that in the win category. Let's see. A fragrance I could always wear is Leighton. Absolutely. Love it for most of the year. For a fresher scent, 3 a.m. I wore that not that long ago. Midnight in Paris would be my Grail pickup. Which one, though? They had two versions. They had an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum. I have a decant of the eau de parfum. And look, while I like Midnight in Paris, it's not one that spoke to me. Like, I get things get hyped for different reasons, but it didn't really speak to me. It wasn't one that made me feel like I had to secure it, you know? But that's just me. It must be incredible for you since it's your Grail pick, you know? Because some people might look at me like I'm crazy with this. Like, it's okay. It's not the best one. It's all just our opinions, right? Boss Bottle Intense, discontinued, but favorite fall fragrance. It is fall in a bottle. It's warm, it's rich, it's sweet. It is the ultimate version of that DNA. I'm with Beach Life. My most sentimental favorite is Happy for Men. My Grail shoes, the Bordeaux 7s. Damn. And the Answer 4s. Which colorway are the Answer 4s? I'm assuming an original colorway. Because one of my favorites, because I had a few colors of the 4s, but my absolute favorite, as far as the numbered answer line, was the Black and Gold Originals. The DMX. Back when they had the DMX technology in them, I had the originals when I was a kid, and I had the re-release about 10 years ago. I had the re-release. That's when Iversons would get cheap at like Finish Line and Foot Locker. I paid like $30 for them. They were like a half size, a little too big, but it's a half size too big. It wasn't bad. But yeah, Iversons used to be able to just wait and get them super cheap on the retros. The good old days before the hype beast really took over. Yeah, I love that. I love variety, a multitude of Iversons. Loam the original. I don't own it, but seems the perfect scent for any scenario, anytime. It's definitely signature worthy. There's no doubt about that. Antidote from Viktor and Rolf is my Grail. I've never smelled that, and I've heard great things about it. I've heard by many that it's the best thing they've ever put out for men. I've heard that pretty often. So it's something I would love to get my nose on one day. For me, a Grail pickup would be Dolce & Gabbana Port Homme Euro Italia from 1994. Damn, very specific. I bet it would be crazy to try to get one of those bottles from 94 specifically, because that's a straight up vintage at this point. Today it's Gris Charnel. My discontinued Grail fragrance was Bond number 9 New Harlem. Glad they brought it back and I was able to grab a bottle from Fragrance Bible. Hell yeah. Good to see you, my man. I picked up older batches, full presentation of Profumo and Code Profumo for $60 total from someone. Thought that was a steal, not a Grail, but felt like a good deal. And that's something to brag about right there. That is a deal. That is a hell of a deal, because those two fragrances, in my opinion, until I got the Eau de Parfum of Armani Code, it narrowly beats out Profumo for me. But there's an argument that those two are the best in their line. I fully believe Profumo is the best in the line as far as Acqua di Gio. But Armani Code Profumo, that was my favorite until I got the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum is actually my favorite, and Profumo is my number 2. But I have such a love for those fragrances, as well as my wife. So yeah, that's a hell of a deal on some awesome fragrances. LPDO Milou. My 3, Fragrance World Francique. Is that how you say that? 63.55. A Gris Charnel EDP Clone Twist, Molinar Gingembre Ginger, and Morsk Sol Batik. Absolutely. The Boz has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Just got Ramstein. Wait, Ramstein has a fragrance? We talking Ramstein the brand, or is there like the band, or is there an actual fragrance brand that has the same name? Because I immediately went to Du Hast in my head. It sounds a little unusual, but it's quickly become one of my favorites. Very good. Marine aromatic aqua scent. Okay. Marine aromatic aquatic. Adonis Awakens. Excellent choice, Boz. I am wearing Birth of Venus. I'm wearing the new freshie. Just ordered a haul from Fragrance Bar, which includes Vanilla Oud and French Riviera. That's a diverse lineup of those two fragrances right there. Man, that's some of my favorites. Excellent. Excellent. You can tell you watch my channel. If you're buying those two, you definitely watch me and trust my opinion, man. I hope you enjoy them. Those are two of my faves. That's one of my favorite Manceras, and Virtus Vanilla Oud is one of my like five favorites among all the stuff I have. It's a shut them down kind of scent. Beach Life. I never finished my current bottle because it's the last bottle my mom bought me, but I'll definitely get another to wear. Yeah, there's certain bottles I keep sprays in just for certain. Like my old bottle of Adidas Moves, because I didn't have much of shit when I met my wife when we started dating, and that was what I wore all the time. And I got a little bit left in it, and I save it just to save it because it marks the beginning. I mean, that was almost 15 years ago. That's how old that bottle is, and it's not spoiled. We sniff it once in a while, give it a little half spritz just to check, because it doesn't. It's much better than the newer formulas, because I have a newer bottle of Adidas Moves. It was not the same fragrance. This is an old bottle back when the cap had the lines in it for the three stripes. It wasn't just the shape, and it had the actual three stripes logo on the bottle. The juice color was different. It's not really the same fragrance. I know it's a little cheap ass fragrance. I get it, but moment in time, that's back when we didn't have shit, That's somebody I built with, you know what I mean? So that fragrance, being into fragrance, it's a very nostalgic scent for me. So point being, I'm totally there with you. With certain ones you just can't part with. You don't want to finish the bottle. You just want to keep it for the memories. So I'm with you on that, man. Just found Spicebomb Infrared was made by Jean-Christophe Hérault, the real perfumer behind Ventus. There you go. And Boz, I know you're just jumping in, but yeah, the Grail pickup was Spicebomb Fresh for me, which I had a 20 ml. But I had been hoarding my sprays until I could get a bottle. And I got a great price on it on eBay for a tester bottle. That's the tester sticker on the back. This has always been my favorite version of Spicebomb. I just, I talk about what's, currently on the market. Like my favorite of what's for sale from Viktor and Rolf is the newest one, Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. I love, which now that I have an actual bottle of this, it can be a second place because this is the one. This is my favorite. Grails, but the resale prices are insane. Indeed, that's why I'll never try them. I've had opportunities. There's a lot of things that are crazy price nowadays that have been discontinued that have hype behind them, that I've had opportunities to get them for a decent price and I just didn't. And now it's not necessarily too late, but it's just not worth it to me. So it's just experiences I'll never have, unfortunately. So I've heard so many wonderful things about both of them. Could wear Profondo every day. Hell yeah. Must be having some internet issues because I keep clicking and nothing's happening on my end. There we go. My top 3 Grail. Happy by Clinique. Pure Malt by Mugler. Ooh, that is a good one. And Armani Mania. Keep rubbing in Armani Mania, damn it. Honorable mention. Very Sexy for Him by Victoria's Secret. Nobody talks about that. Rest in peace to 3 of those 4, but I have backups. Man, Armani Mania is one that I kind of missed the boat on that I would have loved to get. The bottle is gorgeous. That's got that beautiful silver color to it. Man, I've always wanted to check that one out. There's so many good code flank because that's technically kind of like a code flanker, even though it's really not. But there's so many in the code bottle, I guess we'll say, the old code bottle, that have come and gone that I would have loved to try, but never did. Code Ultimate is another one. Diorum Sport 2008. That is the best one. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. I have a 50 ml. I just kind of have it. I do once in a blue moon wear it. Give it a full wearing. I wore it since I've been here. Since I've lived here 2 months now. I've worn it since I moved here. So like last month sometime I wore it. It is the best one. I really believe it's the best smelling one. Oh, excuse me. I think, believe it or not, my least favorite's the one with the iris. Crazy, right? But that's still an incredible fragrance too. Citron and iris, it's beautiful. But it's my favorite. I actually like the non-iris version better. The 08 and the 2017 are my 2 favorites. Yep. Ginger Elemi combo's gorgeous in the original. They really dominate the fragrance, and in the blood orange sandalwood really dominate the 2017, and it's magnificent. I need to wear the 2017. It's been a little while, but the 08 is the best one. Mercedes-Benz cologne. I have 2 bottles. I can't complain. I'm not going to argue. That's a great fragrance. That is a great fragrance. Love to get my hands on the first batch of Royal Oud. Now we're talking stuff where you'd have to like sell your firstborn to get. God knows what a first batch of Royal Oud would cost. Oh, man. I'd love to smell that, though, right? Grail pickup would be an old formula. Silver Stem Diorum, that's a Grail pickup. Original formulation of YSL Loam, that's a Grail pickup, too, for a lot of people. Or, old batches of La Nuit de Loam for some people. But of what you listed, for me, I still want a Silver Stem Diorum. I just need a 50 ml. I don't need 100 ml. Just give me a 50 ml. And I've made effort in years past because trying to find sellers, they'll market that picture and it's not that. Just like with the Silver Stem Diorum cologne, the original Diorum cologne, when it was just a fresh version of Silver Stem Diorum. I would love to have both of those. I would love to have both of those. It's just so hard to find. And when you do find them, they're just not worth the money. It's just not worth it. I've smelled Silver Stem Diorum. It's that jam. It's the one. It's the one. If you're going to wear a Diorum that has iris, it's the one. Like, I would put it up there against the Parfum. It's the one. But it's even a 50 ml is ridiculous. Some things just aren't worth overpaying. Because in my head, I know that's not what it costed at retail. So I don't want to pay way over retail. That's my thing. I value assess at all times, no matter how much I want it. Does the value make any sense? Is it worth the valuation they've put on it to me? And usually in situations like this, the answer is no. That's why I don't have Invictus Aqua 2016 and never will. Not never will. There's always that chance. But that's why I don't have it. I'm just not willing to pay. I'm not willing to do it. Gucci Made to Measure from 2014. I'm down a few sprays left. Expensive to find a new one. I do have Made to Measure. I don't think it's a 2014 bottle, but I do have it. I've had it for 4 years, 5 years, something like that. I've had it for a while. I never wear it. It's a good fragrance too. I got a ton of good fragrances. I'm always got new stuff coming in. Scott Aromatico's in the house talking Ultra Zest. That would be a hell of a Grail pickup. 125, a good price for Spicebomb Fresh. That's about the best you're going to find it. I was about to pay 130. I was about to until I came across this and was like, holy shit, I need to buy this one. So 125 is a good price. That's like just a couple dollars, literally a couple dollars over what it was at retail when it first came out. That is a good price for it. Now you start getting over 150, then it's like, but that is going rate for designers now. But I would say like that's the cap, the maximum I'd be willing to pay is 150, the maximum. But even then, it's like I'd rather wait to see if I could get it for around $100, which I was able to. So you could roll the dice and keep searching and waiting, because I mean I've waited years to do this, and I've had opportunities where I passed. So you got to look at it. Do you want to pull the trigger? Does it seem like something you need to have? Or is it okay for you to wait and try to play it out? Because look, it worked. The waiting game worked out for me. I'm not saying it will for you. I just want you to really think, just because I'm saying it's a Grail for me, I want to make sure this is clear. I don't want you to scoop it up just because I'm saying it's so good. Because you might spend your 125 and be like, it's okay. So just be sure. Because it's not like you can just buy a sample. So if you're a fan of the line, this is what I'll say. If you're a fan of the other Spice Bombs and you have at least a few of them and you just love that scent, then yeah, go ahead. Absolutely pull the trigger, unless you want to try to wait to see if you can get it for a few dollars less. But in the grand scheme of things, what's $15? If you could get it for 110, would it be that big of a difference? Because 110 would be a great price. So it's a couple questions to ask yourself. I'm just trying to be the voice of reason, just in case. Because I don't want you to think I'm just like, oh God, you buy this. Because that's not the case. So just trying to be the voice of reason because I care. So I was just at Marshall's. Cheapy Rack had a brand called Contra. All were dupes. They were freaking good. Grab their latent exclusive and the one clones, their EDP concentrations. Noted. Used to think amber was a stone. Keith, I'm getting them all. Nice shirt. Thank you. The only thing I don't like about it is on the top of this pokes up a little bit, but it'll drape over time because the sleeves go a little further out than I'd like them to. But, Alvin's Island. We were at Alvin's Island the other day. It was only $5. I was like, yeah, I love my baggy sleevelesses for a casual laid back day. And today is just that. It's rainy outside. Aside from going to the gym, not really doing a whole lot today. Best YSL will always be tuxedo. That's fair. I know Angel would agree with that. Shout out to Cubano. Percival is my top 5 favorite. Rockin' Iris Man. I will always own a bottle of this. It's good stuff. Michael Densmore did a great job with that. Let's see. Another one wearing Legend Spirit. It is Legend Spirit Day. Kadal for San. You smell like beautiful spiced pineapple and woods. Simping for Iris. There you go. But then we milestone every day. Ooh, so for me, it would be Gentleman EDP. I like that creamy balminess that it has. That Tolu Balsam note really shines. I like that it's not super sweet and powdery. It's got this creaminess that balances it out. That's why I like Gentleman EDP more. Yep. Believe it or not. Here's one that I can agree with that. Because if I did not have a bottle, I would be upset with myself. I bought all of them, 5 ounces of everything, when they announced the discontinuations of this one and reforms representation, repackaging, which is a reform of the Parfum Dior Homme Original and Dior Homme 2020, and the repackaging of the Cologne and the Intense and the Parfum. And O was getting announced as discontinued. So I bought a 5.1 ounce of the Intense, the original, before it was renamed original. Oh, because I was on the fence about buying them at the time, and I bought 2 bottles of the Parfum, the 75 ml. This was around the time I was buying all the Dior Hommes, and that is one of, if not the best fresh iris fragrance I've ever smelled. That was kind of the backbone inspiration of what I would like to do with Business Over Pleasure. That's why you'll see some people relate it to it. It's got some similar notes, coriander and stuff like that, but I would say Business Over Pleasure is much creamier and spicier overall. Like there's Sichuan pepper and this Palo Santo. Like there's just as many differences as there are similarities. But that was one of the fragrances I took inspiration from because I love this so much that I wanted to kind of build upon that style and create something for myself. Obviously, I create these fragrances for myself. They're iris fragrances. It comes from here. It comes through Claude Deer's talents. Claude made them perfumed them for me, but it was through my vision of what I wanted. And that was one of the inspirations. Fragrances like this, Prada L'Homme L'Eau, for example, like those really fresh irises. There's something special. Fresh iris. Valentino Womble Aqua, super underappreciated fresh iris. I believe that's still discontinued. I want to say they brought it back. I could be wrong, but it's probably still discontinued. But that's a good one. That tomato leaf note they have on the top that kind of gives it that weird freshness. That's a good one too. I love those fresh iris fragrances. Many creeds smell the same. Well, they have a signature. That ambergris, their signature. Polo Blue Parfum, smash the like button. Thank you, Adolfo. Good to see you, my man. Hey, we're almost to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? We got 131 watching and 93 likes, according to what I'm looking at. Click refresh. You never know. We might be there, and it just needs a refresh. No, we got 93 likes. If you don't mind, can at least 7 of you that haven't liked yet, I got 1 so far, 6 more of you hit that thumbs up for me if you don't mind. The Homme Original is pretty close to perfect. So the way I've always described the original is it's the most well-balanced of them. Like you get a little bit of what all of them have to offer in that one. A little bit of sweetness. There's a little bit of leather. There's a little bit of woods. A little bit of citrus. There's a little bit of aromatics. It's not overly makeup bag powdery. Like it's pretty well-balanced. There's an argument that it's the best one and it can't be topped. Like even though the Parfum is my favorite, it's just my favorite. It doesn't mean it's the logical best option, because it's the most balanced. So I'm with you. Close to perfect, that's a fair statement. When it comes to a designer type of iris, it is close to perfect because it offers so much in one composition. And depending on your skin chemistry, you'll get more nuance of certain things than others will, but I'm with you on that. It's so good. And the silver stem, now the silver stem was a bit more dense. I would say the newer version before they relabeled it, which is the one I have, the 2011 formula, it's a bit more balanced and nuanced versus the silver stem. The silver stem was a bit more, I guess, sweet overall would be the way I would look at it, and a bit more woodsy and musky. It was a denser fragrance, but it was special. It really walked us down the path to what the line evolved to. Portrait of a Lady. There you go. Frederick Mall. What do you think about my new fall purchases? 9 p.m. Love it. Not only Intense. Love it. Body Al Oud. You know, the reason I don't have that one is I have so many others that do a really good job of smelling like Oud for Greatness. I have all of the rest of the fragrances in line. Amethyst, Sublime, and Honor and Glory. But I have smelled it, and it is really good. I have so many other ones that I don't need every Oud for Greatness clone. So it is great. A lot of people love that one. I just don't have it, and that's the reason why. It's nothing against the fragrance. I just had other ones before, and it's like I don't want to keep buying because it's not a profile that I wear all the time. If it was something I reach for all the time, like an Aventus DNA or an Invictus Aqua DNA or something like that, yeah, I'd have it because I like all the twists and turns. Amir Al Oud Intense Oud, I haven't tried that. Anything else you would buy? Oh, I got hundreds of things on my want list, man. Since you seem to like these slightly darker, sweet fragrances, based on what I'm seeing here, it's not that you need anything. I don't know if you want to keep going with that style or you want to expand. How about this? Is there a handful or so of ones you're debating on? And based on what you have here and what you're debating on getting, why don't you give me those options? And I'll say, well, based on what you have, here's what I think would be a good addition. Versus me just taking a wild guess at something. Whereas if there's a little bit more structure, I could just give my opinion on what you were already contemplating. Maybe help you along. If you sound open to that, by all means, type it out. What's the most blind buy friendly of Mancera fragrances? My Grail is Tonka Cola. Tonka Cola is so good. Honestly, there's no such thing as a blind buy safe fragrance. Like it's a term, but it's no such thing. There's always a risk that you're not going to like it. If you don't sample it first, you don't know. So that's really fodder, just like a panty dropper fragrance and a most complimented compliment magnet. Yeah, they raise the potential. That's why you always hear me say in these compliment related videos, the probability goes up with this scent profile, but nothing's guaranteed. You guys have heard me say that a ton of times because it's true. Nothing's guaranteed. Goes right into with a blind buy. There's no guarantee you're going to like that. You really could. You might be convincing yourself you like it because you just bought it and you want to like it. So that's why I encourage not blind buying the way I do. There's a method to my madness. But with that said, I have to give that disclaimer. I would say, I mean, the Cedrat Boisés are obvious, but fragrances like French Riviera that we were talking about earlier, I mean, it's pretty hard to not. I would think it'd be pretty damn hard not to like that. And Wave Musk, Sole d'Italy or Soiled Italian, as it's been jokingly dubbed here in the chat lately. Soiled Italian, Sole d'Italy, however you say it. Those are really good. Those are fresh. Those have some character to them. I can't see too many people not liking them. So I would think fragrances like that. When you start getting into the ouds and stuff like that, it's a bit more of a dice roll than the fresh ones are. So I'll recommend a few of those fresh ones. I would say French Riviera, Wave Musk, and Sole d'Italy, however you say it. Soiled Italian. YEDT, great stuff. Sphinx Elixir, first wearing, got 2 compliments by women in their 20s. For this old man, feeling great now, LOL. Well, hell yeah, Fuzz, man. Hell yeah. That's because you smell incredible, my man. You smell unique. You smell rich and intoxicating. It's my favorite from the house. It's good stuff. Ute Night Flight. Never tried it. I have never tried that one. Damn, it smells good in the chat. You damn right it does. Sabhawaoud. Sabhawaoud? That's fun to say faster. Sabhawaoud. Sabhawaoud. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Never smelled it before, though. Never smelled it before. It's Miyake Pulse of the Night. One day, I will have it. Well, I'm rooting for you. Oh, I love it. Me too. Me too. I talked about Vetiver today, and and Cedre. I want to wear that one. Water and Wood. There's so many good ones. Wood and Wood, straight up blue fragrance. There's so many good ones from Issy. They're such an underrated, underappreciated house. I mean, it's got its following. Issy's got its following, but man, they're such good fragrances. They really are. Polo Cologne Intense. That's underappreciated. Just picked up 100 ml of L1212 Blanc Eau Intense for $40 at Ross. Big come up. You damn right. That's a release for this year. That's one of the better. That's going to be in my top 10 designer releases of the year. That's a really good release. Orange, leather, and it ties into the original's DNA, a little bit of the florals and stuff. That is a good one, man. That's a come up. That's a great rack store pickup. That's a great rack store pickup, man. Congrats. Seriously, I'd been enthusiastic as hell to find that. And I already have a bottle. I would have just made a post letting everybody know, check Ross Dress for Less. Holy crap, they have this. Because I already have it. I don't need a backup bottle. That's a great find, man. I'm pumped for you. haven't been in the game long. My grails would be Interlude Black Iris, Dior Homme Parfum. Let's give a round of applause for Dior Homme Parfum being in the list. And not to toot your horn, but Evening Mystique. Gotta throw some cheers, throw my hands in the air and celebrate. I have others, but those are at the top for sure. So have you tried it? Did you get a sample from the site? $5. Have you tried it yet, man? Because we're into Evening Mystique season. Fall, winter, spring. That's the 3 seasons it's ideal for. Not the best option in the summer. In the evenings, indoors, sure. You can wear whatever. But as far as the fall, that's probably, if I had to pick the best season for Evening Mystique, it's autumn. For sure. But I appreciate you tooting my horn even though you didn't mean to. Just recently picked up a 5-ounce sealed of Fresh for $120 from a seller. See, that's what I was wanting to do, was getting the 5-ounce bottle. Because there was a time when I saw the 5-ounce bottle for what I paid for the 3.04. And I had it in my cart for a long time, and eventually it sold. And then other ones I had in my, save for later section, they skyrocketed in price. I was like, oh, shit. I waited too long. That's when I started telling you guys that, I waited too long for Spicebomb Fresh. So it is the band. Okay. They have European-only fragrances. I had no idea. I would hope they have one called Du Hast. Can't wait to try Birth of Venus. Yeah, it's a beautiful fragrance. I haven't even spent any time with Love Triumphs Over War yet because I keep wanting to wear Birth of Venus. I wore it last week. I'm wearing it again this week. Silver Blue, I haven't tried yet. Grail at this point would be Declaration d'un Soir, only because the bottle I found and bought has turned. Got a refund at least. Damn, sorry to hear that. That sucks. Prada Infusion Iris Cedre, another iris. I'm a sucker for iris. Preach. Yes, Ramstein has a whole line of fragrances. Cocaine, Tuscan leather dupe, etc. Imagine rocking Birth of Venus on a beach in Cyprus. How authentic would that be, right? Damn. Good call, boss. Good call. I forgot the Fragby haul also has Molinard Fee. Damn, you're killing it. You're killing it. And yes, I watched the channel and trip. Well, clearly, I mean, you listed some of my favorites, man. Our taste isn't too far off. Still on my journey. Right on, man. Right back at you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the trust. That's trust. It's like, look, man, I think we have similar taste. You seem to love these, so I'll probably love these, and you're blind buying them. That's trust in me, and I appreciate that. That's the kind of stuff that you hear me talk about how serious I take you guys' opinion when it comes to the trust in my opinion. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, where you blind buy these things just because I like them a lot. Man, that's risky business for me and for you. For your money and for you wanting to come fuss me. Because, I'm not saying you would, but that's always the concern, is I don't want you guys to, just roll the dice and play with your money like it's Monopoly. So, but I hope you enjoy them, man. And if we do have similar taste, you're probably going to love them. That's some of my favorites that you're buying. Did a mixture of Givenchy, EDT, and Toy Boy. Amazing. Interesting layering combo. Head turner, long-lasting fragrance. Okay. Everybody's answering. Bottle of Aramis 900. Got a miniature for 12, I guess, pounds. I'm terrible with these, by the way. 30 quid. 60 ml for 30 quid. Nearly full. Howdy, Ross. Hello, Ian. How are you? Literally wearing infrared. Oh, yeah. Because, Venus was born near Cyprus. And that's what I'm saying. Like, excellent job, Boz. See, almost forgot I have a long-awaited Grail pickup this week. The Harmonist Hypnotizing Fire. Mercedes-Benz Club Blue. Nobody talks about that one. Nobody. I never see anybody say they're wearing that. Grail is a very attainable Bleu de Chanel Parfum. You like the blues. My man. My man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's literally sticking out right there. Right there. That's Mercedes-Benz Club Blue. Front and center. That's such a good one. Look, it's basic. It's like a cool orange lavender. It's got a cooling effect to it, like a crispness. Orange lavender, It's nothing crazy complex. It just smells good. And I bought it for $36 on eBay, and I talked about it. I think I even did a full review. And then not too long after, all of a sudden, it was hard to find. Like it just happened like that right after I got it. Thank God I got it when I did, but man, that's underappreciated. That's underappreciated stuff right there, especially from Mercedes. Like that gets no love, and it actually smells really nice. So hell yeah. How much did you pay for Spicebomb Fresh? So it was $89.99 plus $11.80 ship. It was $108.27, I think it was, after shipping and tax. I paid $108.27, I believe was the change. $108.27. We at the beginning of the stream, I pulled it up just to make sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and that's the cheapest I've seen it in a while. Like somebody found it earlier in the chat for $125, which I saw the listing he's talking about, and that's not a bad price. They've come down in price because they were going for like the cheapest I had seen was like $150, $160, which isn't absurd, but some of the listings are absurd. They get a lot worse than that. But this is the cheapest I've seen it in a couple of years, and probably 2 years. So I jumped on it. I had somebody reach out to me that could have grabbed the bottle for me for $130, shipped to me without shipping. Actually, that was after tax what he paid. And it got me thinking, let me go look, because I was about to commit to it. And I found this cheaper and thanked him nonetheless for thinking of me. But yeah, I'm so happy to have it now. It's so beautiful. Just gets better as it dries, as do most fragrances. Literally wearing night vision EDT and infrared EDT today. Unpopular opinion, night vision is better. That is an unpopular opinion. But I'm one of the few that'll be right there with you on night vision EDT being a good fragrance. It is a good fragrance. Never got into her birth story. Got to read up on it. 10-4, boss. 10-4. Let's see. A few old original bottles of Adidas Moves, and a few sprays left back when the bottle itself was triangular, if I remember correctly. I believe they even changed that on the new batches. So the bottle shape didn't really change as the presentation changed. Like the cap lost the lines, the contour for the actual Three Stripes logo, but it still has the shape of the logo without the stripes. And then they actually had it printed real big, the Three Stripes logo with the word Adidas on the bottle. The juice was a darker blue, like a more of a almost lavender hued blue, grayish blue, more so than a purple, if you will. Then it changed to a brighter blue, and just it says the Moves in the corner and everything, which I have a gift set of that. I never wear it. Tommy, the OG formula, and Tommy Girl, the OG formula. So many memories tied there. Bring me back to the late 90s. House parties, 90s music, just a pure vibe in itself. Paul, I am so with you on that. Even though I rarely wear it, it will always be a bottle of Stetson. I have a bottle of Stetson as well. My favorite is Sierra, the green bottle. Stetson Sierra. I used to have a few different aftershave splashes of that I went through. It's not easy to get anymore. You can still find them, but man, you want to talk about one of the better classic masculine aftershaves. Just Stetson Sierra. I love it. Love it. I should get another bottle just out of curiosity. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like what I see. Stetson Sierra. For a 130 ml cologne spray, $129 with $8.15 shipping for a Stetson fragrance. $130 plus shipping. A 2.25 ounce aftershave splash, $115. Now you see why I don't have it. That is so not worth it. This is the kind of stuff you could get at Walgreens and CVS and shit when it was on the market. A half ounce cologne splash, $37 out the box. A 1.5 ounce aftershave box is damaged for $60. A 2.25 ounce cologne splash for $125. A 3/4 ounce cologne splash, 95% full with box for $65. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's outrageous for Stetson. That's outrageous for Stetson. I'm not doing that. It's a nostalgic fragrance, but I'm not willing to pay that. Again, it's the value they want to put on it versus what I value it at. No matter how much I like it, if it's not worth it, it's not worth it monetarily. And there you go. So unless I come across which I do look from time to time. This is the first time I've looked in probably a year. Got my Holy Grail the other day with Dior Homme Parfum. You damn straight. That's an incredible fragrance. Start with an hour and 10 minutes. We'll do about an hour and a half and shut it down because I've seen a couple super chats in the corner of my eye on YouTube that I haven't even gotten to yet over here. And an additional one. I don't know what AED is, but damn, 40 AED. That just caught my eye too. We'll get to that in just a second. Let me scroll down a little bit because I guess I'm pretty far behind. Not too far behind, but I'm a little bit behind. It is still hard to find, unfortunately. It is. If and when it pops up, just keep your ears peeled, which is unlikely because I think it's been discontinued. I'm pretty sure. So you might have missed the boat on it. I can't guarantee that, but and yes, near impossible. Yeah, it's pretty hard to come by now. I'm thankful to have my 4 ounce, and then I got a 75 ml tester sitting in the box. All Team and Code Colonia are possible grails. Those are great everyday wears, especially Code Colonia. That's a good one. Crazy enough, I saw Mercedes-Benz Man Gray once for $30 at Ross and got it. Never saw it anywhere else again. That's one I like to wear this time of year. I've been talking about that one a little bit. Original formula of Fierce would be awesome besides the bottle. There's a lot of people that would love that. Joey would love to get that, I would think. Best blue for fall and winter. This and Bleu de Chanel Parfum. That's the two. Because I don't like wearing this in the summer. I think it's too powdery and cloying for the summer. But spring, fall, winter, yes. Same thing with Bleu de Chanel Parfum. You can wear it just like this. You can wear it in the summer, but I think it's a little much. But spring, fall, winter, this and Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I think that's the two best blues for this time of year. Would it be redundant to buy both Encre Noir and the Intense version? You mean the à l'extrême? I mean, it's pretty redundant. Honestly, if you want to get the opposite ends of the spectrum, the happy medium, which is what I have, is the à l'extrême and the Sport. But I mean, you just soon get the regular one if you're going to get the other two as well. But actually, the Encre Noir is my least favorite of the three. That's why I don't have a bottle. But not super redundant, but redundant enough. I mean, it's a flanker of Encre Noir. It does smell like Encre Noir, just darker, more ambery, a little smoky, much more smoky. But I would say the à l'extrême is better, is superior to me. Sin of the day is not Legend Spirit. Well, at least somebody's not wearing it, right? Hit that like button, people. Yeah, we got 126 likes, 135 viewers. That sounds pretty gravy to me. I appreciate it. Plan to propose to my girlfriend on Tuesday. Well, I hope she's not watching the stream. I'm pretty sure she's not. But is there any safe blind buy fragrances I could surprise her with? The only scent profile she doesn't like is leather ones. Now, do you mean for you or for her? Because when you throw leather out there, is that she doesn't like to smell that on you? So hit me again, Dakota. Hit me with a follow-up here because I want to weigh in. I want to give you my opinion. About to propose. Man, that's exciting. Congratulations, man. Let's see. So, yeah, type the follow-up for me. The RMO is fire. Indeed. Indeed. It's incredible. Iris is a good smell, but only comes across to me like lipstick, which is an odd thing to wear, to smell like. To each their own. $1.99 super chat for the homie WYN. When it comes to blues, you never let me down. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, you definitely dig the blues based on what I've seen from your comments. I appreciate the super chat, too. Thank you very much. As far as old shoes go, I had every pair of the Barclays ever made. Oh, shit. Including all the posits? All the foam posit ones? Like the Galaxies? Yeah, those. My favorite all-time Dion's with the strap. So the DT. So I had the DT96. I had, what was the next one? Because it was when he played for the Cowboys. Because I had him in the Cowboys colorway. It had the Jewel logo with the lightning bolts in behind next to the Nike check inside the Jewel logo. It was a circular Jewel logo. I don't remember the model name. I remember them specifically. They were white and the Cowboys navy blue. Because I had the Emmitt Smith, the Reeboks. Like I said, I liked the triplets and Dion in the 90s. I was not a Cowboys fan, but you could have swore I was a Cowboys fan because I would wear their stuff. So, because I like players. I'm a Saints fan. I love the Ravens and the Dolphins, mainly the Ravens. And I like players among the rest of the teams. I've always been like that. So I'll support certain players. I don't track it. I mean, I post every day on Instagram. That's how I can track if I need to. Just got Blue de Chanel Parfum and Armani Code Absolute. My nose has been orgasming ever since this morning. I'm glad you're enjoying them. It's a good place to do trades. So you're going to want to hit one of these Facebook groups. They got a bunch of them dedicated to stuff like that. I would go searching Facebook. They got a ton of groups. Tonka Cola, Top Man Sarah. It's a banger. Absolute banger. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm glad I got a bottle, if it is true, but I don't know. How about this? If it was something you were interested in getting, just to be safe, maybe plan to get it sooner than later. Oolong cha today, hell yeah. Issy used the fig, which I think is an underrated and underused note. I have several fig fragrances, and it makes for a special concoction, we'll say. It definitely does. Chaos in the Ocean coming. Beautiful, salty, aquatic. It's pretty sharp, though. I'll give you a heads up. It's pretty sharp at the top. The Rez just got Paris Corner Rifakatin. My goodness, that's a bad motherfucker right there. You damn right it is. You damn right it is. It's in tomorrow's video. I filmed that yesterday. I can't wait till it gets cooler. It is, man, because look, that's supposedly a clone of Baby Cat, and it's that good. Imagine how good Baby Cat must be. Think about that. If that Paris Corner fragrance is that good, because you smell it now, so you understand where I'm coming from. It's fucking incredible. Bad motherfucker. I agree with you. Totally agree. Imagine what the real deal's like. Because the real deal's 99.9% of the time always better than the clone. There's always that 0.1%. There's the few out there, your 9 PMs and stuff like that. That's better than, in my opinion, better than the original. No, just don't spray it heavy. 2, 3 sprays, you're good. You're good. It's not a sillage monster. It's not going to overwhelm, but people are going to smell you. My Grail will be Gucci Envy, but I will never pay the current prices. So we're at 1 hour and 17 minutes. We'll do another 13 minutes. We'll get to that. Try to do a hard stop at 1.5 hours. So let me try to get caught up. Damn, you got quite the diverse collection. Or literally 1-to-1. That's impressive. That's impressive. You and I would need to hang out one day and be like, well, what do you think about this one? Just so we could see the one that we differ on and have a debate about. Because you'd be surprised. You think we're 1-to-1, but I guarantee you there's more than one fragrance where we don't agree on. Because it's impossible for us to have the exact same taste. But it's awesome to see that we have a very similar taste to where you're confident enough to say that. So I would say you trust my opinion then, if we have that similar of a taste. Headed into this cooler weather, breaking out Discontinued Alone L'Intense on my 3rd bottle. Luckily, I have 2 backups. Well, you definitely like that one. Been through all that. It's all about trust for real. Been a designer guy for a minute. When it comes to diversifying my portfolio with some niche picks, I trust you, Justin, EQ, and y'all won't get any fuss from me. LOL. That's my guys. That's two of my dearest friends in this community. You know, very close to both of them. So that's, yeah, you got some good guys in your camp that you relate to, for sure. Well, there's a friend that works at Dior, and she's given me some Dior Homme Sport. I'm obligated to buy the parfum. There you go. Mercedes punches 10 times their weight. That's fair. Mercedes is my I mean, it's not just because I worked for the brand, but as far as their fragrances, when it comes to car companies, that's my car company shelf, and it's like 2/3 Mercedes because they put out some good stuff. If I was to recommend one house, yeah, Bentley's a close second for me, and some people would argue Bentley's better. It's a taste thing, but diverse, solid offerings for the money. Mercedes, they put out some great fragrances. I'm with you on that. Well, they're going to put cheap stuff out. I'm not surprised by that. Climatic with the $10 super chat. I picked up Spicebomb Fresh for $148 on eBay when you mentioned it about a month ago. My wife and I both love it. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I absolutely adore this one, man. I'm so glad to finally have a bottle of it because that's one of the reasons I never spray my travel atomizer is I just don't want to run through it because the more that juice level drops, the more I'm going to be like, fuck, I need a bottle. And God forbid I be on one of those, you know, I get with certain fragrances. You'll be vibing with it for a little while and you'll wear it. Even when you have a ton of fragrances, there will be a stretch where you wear it pretty often in like, say, a month's time. And you start dropping that juice level. And God forbid it would have got down to like, you know, just a few ml left. And I'm like, damn, I need to grab a bottle. And there's nothing reasonable out there to buy price-wise. That was what I feared. So it was like, I got to wait and preserve until the right situation comes along. And the right situation came along. So now I'll continue to spray this and drop this down. And I'll still leave a little bit. I'll never fully empty this because I just want to keep it, because it's the only Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb bottle I have like this. And then I'll start, on occasion, I'll still spray from this because I want to do some scent of the day posts and stuff. Like the next wearing, in the next couple of days, you're going to see this bottle. I'm going to spray from the bottle. But thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Great content as always. Carna Barcelona Volcano. Never tried that one. For Christmas, my mother-in-law is getting me YSL Baby Cat clone from Amir. Yeah, Rifaka's good stuff, man, like we were just talking about. Now, I don't know what this currency is, but even if it was just 1 penny US, I don't care. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Need recommendation for 3 must-have niche fragrances. So must-have from one person to the next is very, very different. So I would say for me, I would want to build something diverse. If I'm getting 3, let's build a wardrobe. If we're talking 3, because you can build a wardrobe with 3 fragrances. I would say something like Mancera's Cedrat Boisé, everyday, versatile, affordable, do it all kind of fragrance, super attractive. Then I would say something more evening forward, like a, let me think about this for a second. Let me turn, let me look. Put my back to you guys for a second. I apologize. Nishane Ani could be your evening. Amber benzoin vanilla, warm and spicy, intoxicating, absolutely freaking gorgeous. Nishane's Ani. And then just a fun, bright freshie, something Aqua de Parma, like Colonia Pura or Carasso Bay from Jacques Fath. Something just fun, fresh, summer oriented, makes you think of the summer, very, high heat forward, something like that. So you got your everyday, you got your evening that can also double as your cold. Both of those can be in the cold weather. And then you got your dedicated fresh for those hot days. Something along those lines. I appreciate the super chat, and that's the route I would go. Instead of getting 3 redundant pickups, have some versatility there, some flexibility with your wardrobe. Thank you for the super chat. Miral Oud and with Halloween Man X on top is great. Middle Eastern flavor comes through later, or Cade with Halloween Man X variant, very nice. Noted. Apparently what Gucci's worth, it could probably be more now, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Stuff is amazing, easy fragrance to wear. Gucci has nice fragrances. Dry downs are usually nice. And they kind of think outside the box most of the time. I respect the house. Speaking of powdery, Lamal Elixir is less powdery than, yes, much less powdery. It's still powdery, but it's sweet powdery instead of floral powdery. Like it's Tonka vanilla bean. Tonka bean vanilla kind of thing that makes it powdery. Whereas with Lamal Parfum, you have that Tonka bean vanilla powder plus the designer iris, which is very powdery. So Lamal Parfum is definitely more powdery, but they're different powdery from one to the other. Prada Paradox for her. Not redundant to buy all 3 Ancre Noir for 60 total. I mean, you just assume if you're going to get 2, you might as well get the 3rd one. I say that, and I haven't done it because I just don't like the regular one. It's like it's a pointless purchase for me. And I got enough pointless purchases when it comes to some of the rack store buys that are just mediocre because I don't reach for them after. Whereas the ones that I'm like, ooh, this is a good pickup, those are the ones I wear. So I've had my fair share of stuff that never sees the light of day. And if I was to buy Ancre Noir, it wouldn't get touched. So he got me. I never did get the foam posits, but I wanted them so bad. So there you go. That's why I had to ask, because it's like, oh, you even got some of the foam posit ones? Because those were my favorite ones. Those are badass. She doesn't like leather on herself. Okay, so we're looking for something for her specifically. I just wanted to make sure. So it depends on her taste. If she likes fruity florals, it's hard for me to not say something that my wife's such a huge fan of, like YSL Libre, the Eau de Parfum, the first version. That's her favorite fragrance. Or, this is going to up the price a bit, but this is that much more special, Argos Palace Athene or Argos Parfum. She's killing those bottles. That's the 3 fragrances she's worn the most out of her bottles. Argos Palace Athene, Argos Parfum, and YSL Libra. They're all fruity florals. So I would say take a look at those note breakdowns, see what kind of speaks to you when you see them. And I would, in my opinion, pick one of those 3 if she is a big fan of fruity floral. Because that's my wife's favorite aromatic profiles, fruity floral. That's my recommendation, my opinion. Yes. Yeah, no, you pretty much, and ambery. It's more ambery too. Sample extreme, but just didn't get me. Love that mossy freshness of the OG. See, it's each their own. Currently, that are not saints. So I would have to say, oh, that's a tough one because there's a lot of players that I really like. I'm a Levante David guy. I love Levante David, linebacker for the Buccaneers. Sauce Gardner cracks me up. Love the personality, and he's elite. That boy is he's gonna be the new Jalen Ramsey, the new Richard Sherman, the new talk of the cornerback world for several years. So Sauce Gardner, Ahmad Gardner for the Jets. Myles Garrett. I do like me some Myles Garrett, I have to say. I'm a Justin Herbert guy. And then, I'll exclude Aaron Rodgers will be an honorable mention because I've always been an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. Hoping he comes back, has a speedy recovery from his Achilles surgery. But let's pick a wide receiver, shall we? Because there's a lot of wide receivers that I love. I love those outspoken wide receivers. But it's hard to really pick one because I didn't want to pick a bunch of the same position because I could have just gave you 5 receivers. Man, this is difficult to do because I want to say Devontae Adams because I love the person Devontae Adams, but there's no excitement in that because he's not a diva. There's no excitement in saying Devontae Adams, but I gotta go with Devontae Adams. I love Devontae Adams. Yeah, that's my guy. He's all business, work ethic. He doesn't put his workouts on social media. He's not a social media guy, and he's as elite as they come. Because I could have gave you, if I'd have listed off receivers, DeAndre Hopkins would have had to be there because I'm a Hopkins guy. Sleeper Grail, Bath and Body Works After Dark Cologne. So we got 2 more minutes. Let me find a good spot because we're going to do a hard stop at an hour and a half, guys. Shut up, Spencer. Yeah, that's incredible. That's one of the best designer releases of the year. It's like I said, if you like incense, it's a must. Anybody that's a fan of incense, Boss Bottle Elixir is a must. Definitely an interesting scent. Trying to dip the toes in ooze, definitely for special occasions for that one. And it's only $20. Cheap stuff. City Rhythm Miami, we're at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down right here on this one after I say who dat right back to you. But we're going to shut it down here on Central Hub. I can tell that oud can definitely be a challenging note in fragrances to wear as if it's the lead player. But I actually like the BR Oud 17, but only for certain occasions, like I had mentioned. Yeah, it's really good. If you like that fragrance, you can get into ouds. Because for what it is, for the price, and for the fact that it's from Banana Republic, Claude Deer perfumed that, my guy. It doesn't smell like it would be a Banana Republic fragrance for $20. It just doesn't. And if you like that, when I say it's a beginner oud, I don't mean it's like not challenging at all. It's because you're not going to spend a lot of money to get something a little bit more risque than like a just run-of-the-mill typical designer oud, like that super synthetic fake stuff that they use in like Boss Bottled Oud and stuff like that. Not that kind of oud, which I'm not saying it's the most natural oud in the Banana Republic fragrance either, but that's got a bit of funkiness and challenge to the wear. It's jammy, it's fruity, it's rose, it's really good for what it is. And if you like that, you could get down with some oud fragrances. You could move on beyond that. So that's why I say that. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate all of you that are here. Welcome to the new members. Thank you all for the super chats, for those that super chatted. Thank you guys for the great conversation. It's always a good time when we get together on these live streams. And yeah, definitely check out today's video if you haven't yet. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all have a good one.